Hey everybody, Roxybox90 here, back with Dragons of Tarkir spoilers. Day 4, we got 3 Mythics to talk about today, and some really awesome limited cards. So let's just hop right in super quick. A Tarkir's Command, 2 mana. Wow, that's cheap command. Instant speed, choose 2. Your opponents can't gain life. Deals 3 damage to each opponent. Put a land card from your hand into play. Creatures you control gain +1 and gain reach. Wow, this is really sweet, especially for red-green decks, which there are plenty of them. The fact that it can act like a Skullcrack makes it a flexible option potentially for Modern. Yeah, it's not as good as Skullcrack because it's 2 colors, but for many decks, this card could easily act as additional Skullcracks or sideboard Skullcracks because it gives more versatility, giving creatures in an aggressive kind of style deck 1/1 in reach. All your creatures, seems pretty awesome. Gives you ramp. And this can happen all on your opponent's turn. I think this card at instant speed is really good. We've seen cards that this cost that are just so much worse. This one is, wow. I think it has some serious potential. And in limited, the can't gain life could really matter, especially if you run into some of the cards that have lifelink in this set, and there are a lot that have lifelink or life gain kind of skills. Let's take a look at the Shikiri Raptor. This card is the weird one. Why is this mythic? I hear a lot. 3 for a 3/3 Death Touch. Well, we've seen that before at rare. It's good, great, but why is it mythic? Because whenever you turn another permanent face up, you can return it from the graveyard face up or face down. And has Megamorph of 5, which becomes 5 for a 4/4 Death Touch. So Megamorph's okay. It's not super awesome, but being able to get this guy back over and over and over again as a 3/3 Death Touch, effectively constant removal of your opponent's stuff in limited, this card is mythic because it's just too powerful for limited. I don't think it's quite going to be broken in any sort of constructed play, even though it is annoying, and there are maybe someone will put together a deck that lets you take advantage of Morph, especially with Megamorph as a mechanic. Maybe it'll get there. I don't think it usually does. This card is mythic mostly, I think, because of limited, and it's going to be a pretty sweet one in limited with the amount of morph we have going on. Then we have Zurgo Bellstriker. Yep, you've been demoted. He's been demoted from the huge indestructible 7/2. Now he's just a mere 2/2 who has to strike a bell to get people following. 1 for a 2/2. He's an Orc Warrior. He can't block creatures with power 2 or greater, and he has dash. This is cool because he's basically a Sumaru, which is a 1 for a 2/2 with no drawback, and he's not really a drawback because 1 for a 2/2 that can't block creatures that are bigger than him is fine for what he needs to do, which is attack, especially with dash. 2 for a 2/2 dash with 2 for 2/2 haste, totally fine, solid bear in limited. But 1 for a 2/2 is also fine, especially when your first opponent's couple of plays are basically blocked by this. You put 1 mana down, you can trade with their 2/2s that they spend 2 mana on. It's just all around a great advantage. Cube is going to love that card. Dragonlord Dromoka. I actually thought this was a mask. It actually is his chin. Yes, he has a humongous chin. 6 for a 5/7 Elder Dragon. He can't be countered. Flying, lifelink, your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. So pretty much he's what white green aggro kind of decks want. You can't stop him. He's huge, big body, flying, lifelink, and stops your opponents from messing around your turn. So saying run for the hills, control players, because this guy is going to come and eat your lunch, and that's pretty much what he's there for. He's going to be a very fun card in Commander, especially multiplayer Commander, I think, because of his stats aren't the end of the world, shut down the board kind of thing, but your opponents will probably get nervous around it just because of their lack of flexibility dealing with him. So interesting card, great commander card, amazing limited, of course, and constructed, nah, maybe. I mean, we've seen kind of cards that work with its abilities, but they've usually been cheaper. So I don't know if at 6 mana it's quite worth it. Ajutai Exemplars, 4 for a 4/4. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you choose to either tap a creature, give it first strike and lifelink, or exile it and flicker it out of play. Bring it back tapped. This card is pushed. Pushed card is pushed, people. 4 for a 4/4 that has this kind of flexibility is insane. Tapping down their stuff, tapping down their blockers in combat and in decks that have, spells, non-creature spells, this card goes bananas. First strike, lifelink, he can swing combat, he can prevent your opponent during their turn, he can prevent removal from dealing with him because you can flicker him out against removal. He does everything you need, and he's very well costed. Definitely constructed candidate, and limited absolutely insane. Really cool card. Maybe potentially even modern playable with the kind of non-creature spells going on as a curve topper for aggressive kind of decks. I definitely think it has potential. Anticipate is basically impulse but not as good, or that's kind of how I've been thinking about it. You look at the top of your cards, you put one in your hand, so you draw one of 3 and then put the other 2 in the bottom. Seems fine. Arishin Foremost, double strike 2/2 for 3 is good, especially in limited, and whenever it attacks, enters the battlefield or attacks another warrior against double strike, that makes it freaking insane, especially with the warrior pseudo-ness that we have in the cons block. Very strong card for limited, very powerful. Den Protector, 2 for 2/1, creature's power less than it can't block it, so if you make it bigger, or it can't be easily chumped with smaller stuff, but as you scale up, it could be very powerful. And the Megamorph makes it even better, and when it's turned face up, it's an Eternal Witness. That's really, really nice. Even if it does, it's just a 2/1 with the Megamorph, it becomes 2 for a 3/2 Eternal Witness. Really good to me. Seems really good. Then we get Miami. Miami Grand Prix you have dash or boring playmat. I don't really like that artwork, but everyone who goes to the Grand Prix Liverpool will get one of these, and it looks beautiful. So yeah, that's that. Then we got promos. These just seem to be regular promos, probably pre-release related, just alternate artworks, none of them particularly insane, although this looks pretty sweet. Then the launch promo is what we saw with Deathbringer Regent, the first artwork. It looks awesome, and the card's pretty decent, so that's cool. Game Day Scale Guard Sentinels, we've seen this card before. It's pretty beautiful, and for people who have cubes or some kind of cube-ish style stuff where dragons are a pseudo-theme or a sub-theme, this card could work in there. It looks beautiful. And if you're lucky to make top 8, you could win a Thunderbreaker Regent, which looks freaking beautiful. How powerful it is has some good potential for limited, let me tell you, and definitely my cube has potential. And I like this card a lot. Beautiful artwork, and the winner will win this gorgeous playmat. So yeah, good luck, guys. You want that playmat. And then the bio box is a Shutai's Command, which is sweet because this card has some serious constructive potential, so it may be worth a good amount of money, it may be necessary for your own decks, and I like that they're including a good card with beautiful artwork. Very, very cool. So let me know what you guys think about today's spoilers. We got quite a few mythics, and we got some pretty cool promos. So I'd love to hear what you think down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, then tap the like button. If you're new to the channel, check in and subscribe. I have some great content coming up down the pipeline, as well as spoilers day to day, so I hope you guys are excited. Stay tuned. As always, Roxabox90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.